operations. So operations are things you do typically to combine two numbers or expressions, or sometimes things that are done to one number or expression. So we have addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, exponent, radical. There are different terms used for these, different vocabulary. And then what may be somewhat less familiar terms are things that are being added and subtracted. Factors are things that are being multiplied. It's fairly important. You'll see, asked to write things as factors, or mention of what to do with terms. And it's important to know the difference. If you're told that something can be done with factors, you can't then apply that to terms, etc. So make sure you're familiar with these different vocabulary words for each operation and what those mean. Looking at the different operations, I break them down into levels. So this goes kind of in order of how powerful the operation is, kind of the order they come. So the lowest level, level 1, is addition, and then subtraction counts with addition because it's undoing addition. We have the plus symbol, the minus symbol, but you do have to pay attention with the minus symbol because we have negative numbers that relate to subtraction. But on your calculator, there is a separate button to apply a negative sign to a number. So technically, a subtraction is done, you subtract one number from another. So if you're starting with a negative number, the calculator isn't programmed to recognize subtraction from nothing, depending on the calculator. So make sure that you know if you need to use that negative button rather than the subtraction symbol, that you know where to find it and how to use it. Second level, multiplication and division. So multiplication is repeated addition. If you take 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, instead you could take 2 times 4. So it's kind of a level up from addition. The symbols, we typically in this course won't use the X symbol for multiplication because we'll be using X as a variable and written by hand. Those are going to be hard to distinguish. You'll see the little dot used for multiplication. Sometimes if you're just like typing, you can use an asterisk, that star symbol for multiplication. That's what is used typically in programming situations, in Excel, that type of thing. But typically what we use actually is what's called juxtaposition, where the factors are simply written next to each other with no symbol. So xy, 2x, -2, absolute value of 3. So the -2 would be multiplied by the result of the absolute value of 3, 3 square root of 4. Same thing, the 3 is being multiplied by the square root of 4. 3 parentheses x plus 1, so 3 is being multiplied by that grouping of x plus 1. And you see those parentheses there grouping the x plus 1, but parentheses are added generally if both factors are numbers, or if any of the factors have, again, like multiple terms, like the x plus 1. So if we want to write 2 times 3 with juxtaposition, we can't just write 2, 3 next to each other because now that's the number 23. So we have to use something, and so that's where parentheses get applied to one or both of the factors. And then division is the undoer for multiplication, so it's on the same level. Dividing by something is the same as multiplying by 1 over the thing. That's important to understand. You'll see division typically in this course written as a fraction, so you won't usually see that division symbol. If you think about it, though, that division symbol kind of is it's showing like a fraction with the dots representing the values above and below. Your calculator button, depending on your calculator, may be that division symbol or a /. The / is typically used again in computer situations, Excel, programming, and what you'll enter answers as on tests and so on. Another comment kind of with division, don't use mixed numbers if you're given a fraction. Just give the improper fraction, so kind of a single division happening, 3/2 rather than 1.5. Because when we do have things written next to each other, that means multiplication. In this course, so 1 and then the 1/2 could be confused with 1 times 1/2, rather than it would really be 1 plus 1/2. Then level 3 operations, exponents. So multiplication was repeated addition, exponents is repeated multiplication. So we're going up another level. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 2 to the 4th power. The thing being multiplied is the base. The number of multiplications is the power or exponent. There is some confusion though, because power or exponent is often used also just to refer to the whole expression. So 2 to the 4th, somebody might refer to as a power. Technically, we would say 2 to the 4th is an exponential expression with a base of 2 and a power or exponent of 4. Exponent is generally indicated by that raised position, but if you aren't able to do the raised position, we use the caret symbol. So that's that sort of up arrow. It's the shift on your 6 button on a standard keyboard. So 2 to the 4th power, you could write as 2 and then the 4 in the raised position, or you could write 2 caret 4. On your calculator, your button may look like that caret symbol, or you may have an X to the Y or X to the box with that raised position. Some calculators also will do the raised position as you're entering those exponents, some will not. So you want to pay attention to that. Undoing exponents can be done with radicals, which would undo the power, or with logarithms, which would undo the base. So those would be on the same level as exponents. So that's operations.